boyfriends expect me to be sexy like Priya, Emmerdale's Fiona Wade, on playing a flirty cheat and her love life off-screen. The actress, 39, on playing Emmerdale minx Priya, being single and ready to mingle, feeling the pressure to have children, and being completely indecisive. When Fiona Wade strolls into the ITV studios in Leeds, clutching the remains of a giant green juice in her hand, we have to do a double take. There are none of her Emmerdale character Priya's high heels or mini skirts in sight. Instead, Fiona has her hair pulled back in a scruffy bun, and she's dressed in jeans and a green jumper, the perfect hue to match her juice. Priya's much more glamorous than me. She's a power dresser, whereas I'm more chilled out, she says with a giggle, as she plonks herself down on the sofa. But after 6 years on Emmerdale, the boundaries do start to blur, so much so that she admits she once had to give a new boyfriend the boot because he complained that he thought she'd be more like Priya. Luckily, Fiona takes it all in her stride. People call out Priya in the street. I feel like I have two names. But we're in people's homes every night and it can be real to them. They aren't shy about telling me what they think of Priya, especially when it comes to her love life. And what a love life it is. Since she joined the show, Priya's been in a wedding dress 3 times, although she's only made it up the aisle once, and has been at the center of more than one romantic scandal in the village. The latest, an affair with her best friend Layla's fiancé Pete, comes to a head this Wednesday when the couple's wedding is due to take place. It's a will they won't they drama that's had fans gripped for weeks, and hasn't exactly shown Priya in her best light, but Fiona is quick to jump to her character's defense. Pete needs to take his share of the blame too. It's so often all blamed on the girl in this situation, she says, shuffling her tiny frame to get comfy on the sofa. He hasn't taken much of the responsibility so far. In some ways I sympathize with Priya because I know her so well, but I also just want to give her a good shake. There is no excuse for what she's doing to her best mate. In real life, Fiona's romantic life is far less chaotic. Although she's single at the moment, she says she's dating and happy, but things are complicated by the fact that she splits her time between London, where she's from, and Leeds, where the show is filmed. It takes someone who's understanding to get that I'm not always going to be around in the week, but being an actor you're used to not being with your partner all the time. I don't mind that. My love life is nothing like Priya's, thank God. Like many women in their 30s, Fiona is feeling the pressure to settle down and start a family. My mum really wants me to have kids and I want to have a baby, but it's not going to happen right now. I try to be relaxed about it and I believe that it will come when the time is right, she says. I do feel broody, and all my cousins have babies who I love seeing. Being a professional actress since she landed her first role in Grange Hill at the tender age of 16, her career's had a surprising impact on her social life. I was never part of the popular crew, she remembers. People probably thought I was a bit weird because I was acting instead of going to parties. I also didn't drink or smoke for religious reasons. Fiona follows the Baha'i faith, and when you're younger it's hard to be as confident in your choices. I might have lost some friends over it, but as you get older it matters less, because you've made your friends and you know who you are. Perhaps Fiona can thank the lack of booze and her healthy lifestyle for her youthful appearance. At almost 40, she could easily pass for being in her 20s, probably helped by the fact she stands at a diminutive 4 feet 11 inches. She also has good genes on her side. Born to an English father and a Filipino mother, Fiona grew up in a tight-knit, diverse family in London. Everybody in my family is mixed, because so many of them are married to someone from different countries, she smiles. My family is like the United Colors of Benetton when we get together. My cousins are a mixture of Persian, Mauritian, Filipino, and English. It means we have lots of yummy food from around the world. There was another big bonus to having a Filipino mum: exciting family holidays to the Philippines. Her grandparents' rural farm was paradise for a child, and some of Fiona's favorite childhood memories involve bathing outside, eating delicious local dishes and riding around the farm on a buffalo, which she described as her pet. Growing up in a big family meant Fiona never felt lonely as an only child, although she does think it's shaped the person she is today. When her father Colin died suddenly in 2006, Fiona found herself wishing for the first time in her life that she had a sibling, so she could share her grief. Her father became seriously ill on the opening night of her West End show The Far Pavilions, and Fiona didn't think twice about leaving the theatre to be at his bedside. It was the right decision. Sadly, Colin died from esophageal cancer 10 days later. He was my best friend and a great man. It is one of the hardest things I have come up against in my life. But you have to carry on, she remembers. I realized then that it would have been nice to have a brother or sister. But there are also positives to being an only child. I like my own company, she says, which is probably down to that. Sometimes I just decide to have a few days on my own, where I stay in, eat and just chill out. Over her career, Fiona's appeared in everything from Casualty to Silent Witness, often playing characters of Indian descent. I don't think I really look Filipino. I'm very mixed looking and that's why I fall into other niches, she says thoughtfully. I've gone up for Filipino roles before and not got them, and not been surprised at all, to be honest. Fiona is currently very much enjoying the excitement of the Priya-Pete Layla love triangle, and as an actress she relishes dramatic storylines. A few weeks ago she signed up for another year-long stint on the show, so will she be sticking around for a few more years? Who knows? She says with a cryptic smile. I spent 20 years as a jobbing actress before getting this part, and that has absolutely made me appreciate it even more. Emmerdale is a gift of a job and I never forget that. I feel like I came into the show at the right time in my life, because I'd done so much before it. I really want to be here. Good news, because we can't imagine the show without Priya shaking things up. Who knows what sort of mischief she'll be up to on Wednesday.